What's happening, guys? This is a video regarding price action and how I trade it and what I look for. A lot of requests regarding this video via Instagram, so stay tuned. I'm also going to show you a very quick video of an example trade that I placed this morning on the FTSE Open and what it is that I was looking for, etc. So stay tuned on that. So the way I trade price action is, firstly, I only look at the numbers. I don't look at the candles. A lot of people like to trade the candles. Me personally, I like to trade the numbers. The reason why is, firstly, I'll explain. On the open, the FTSE 100 cash open at 8 AM in the UK time, I trade that and I scalp that, okay? I'm in and out, I don't want to be waiting around with that, okay? Now, on a 5-minute candle, 10-point move on FTSE is not much, okay? But on a 5-minute candle on the FTSE 100, that is huge. It's so big you can easily get faked out by that, okay? So I look at the numbers and I look at how quickly those numbers are moving. If they're just tickering up or if they're tickering down, I wait. I want to see some real movement in numbers before I do that. So for me, I trade price action on the FTSE Open, and I also trade price action on the Open for the US, which in our time is about 2:30, okay? Now, the reason why I do that, when you have a market open, like the FTSE 100, all it is companies and funds filling orders, okay? So it works on supply and demand. So if there's more companies buying than there is selling, you're gonna get a move in price, okay? Now, we don't be biased, I'm not biased going into an open, because all it is orders being filled. Even if something's happened before the market's opened, and you think, you know what, this could be really bearish, it's just market orders being filled is what we're jumping on the back on, okay? You can worry about then getting into a trade after that if that's what you're doing and that's your style of doing things. For me, I just want to jump on the back of them first few minutes, in and out, and trade the market as what I see, not what I think, okay? So for me, in this example in the video, it wasn't playing ball really, but I waited to see and watch the price before I got in. Okay. Now all we're looking to do as price action trading is jump on the back of these big funds making their investment or making their trades, okay? So if they're buying up the market, then we're going to jump on the back of that. If they're selling the market, we're going to jump on the back of that. We don't care. We're looking for a quick in and out on the price, and that's all we're looking to do. I'll explain how I do that in the tutorial, and I'll give you a bit of an example and a bit more detail after the tutorial's up. So let's head over now to the tutorial. As you can see, it's 8:04. The reason why that is because I didn't want you lot to be sitting here watching me stare at a screen for 4 minutes. It's not the most exciting content in the world. So I just skipped it to the part where I entered the trade. Now, this wasn't playing ball, to be honest. This probably wasn't the best example to use, but I just thought I'd use it anyway because it's still a nice scalp and a nice start to the day. Okay, so let me just explain what's happening. I have to wait here because I want to wait for this first 5-minute candle to get above the high next to it. As soon as it does that, I'm in straight away. I'm looking for a few points, 10 points max, because this isn't playing ball this morning, okay? So we can see it's starting to creep up. Now I'm looking at the price here, okay? Look, 08. Now the price is slowly 09. Now it's starting to move, 13. Okay, so it's not going 9, 10, 11, 12, it's going 11, 13. I'm waiting for any slowdown, 14. As soon as I start seeing slowdown, I'm out, 15, 16, 17, and it starts to slow down here and it starts to pull back a little bit. As soon as I see that, I'm not interested, I'll take that money and that's it, that's me done for the trade, okay? That's just a quick example of what it is that I look for in the mornings, okay? Wasn't the best example in the world, however, it is an example of how I trade the price action, okay? All we're looking to do, as I said, is jump on the back of the funds trading that open, okay? Also, as well, when you're trading price action, especially for stocks, okay, this is why I always say to people, follow price action. We've been given patterns by Zed and how to trade certain stocks, and we've learned that over time, depending on what they do pre-market, depending on what they do earnings, okay? However, we can't be right 100% of the time, because firstly, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I'd be on a yacht somewhere in the Caribbean, drinking some pina coladas. And you wouldn't be watching me right now if that was the case, okay? Because we all know you can't be right all of the time. Even Warren Buffett, you know, that guy gets it wrong. Look what happened to him at the start of the year with airlines. Perfect example, okay? So don't worry about being wrong on your analysis. What I would suggest is follow the price action. Now, what I mean by that is if you're trading a stock and you predict that it's going to go up because of your analysis, if that stock then starts doing the complete opposite to what you're doing, there's one or two ways you can do that. You can sit back and watch and wait for you to be right, and you could be waiting 10 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour, half an hour, whatever. Wait until you're right and your analysis pays off. It may never happen. Or what you can do is what we're here to do is get in and out, take our money and run, okay? So by that, what I mean is follow the price action. So if the stock starts coming down and it starts shooting down, like we saw on my last video with Nike, if you haven't seen that already, go and check that out. Like we saw with Nike, the way that moved was an indication that that stock's got to come down first. So if that's the case, we want to jump on the back of that. Doesn't matter that we're wrong. We want to jump on the back of that. We want to get in and get out and take our profits. I see so many times people saying, this stock's going to turn around soon, this stock's going to do this, stock's going to do that. Just follow the price action. Don't try and be the Einstein and try and always be right with stocks. Follow the price action. I keep saying it. If it carries on going, it carries on going. You make money. If you're wrong, you cut it quickly. But what I always say is when a stock is falling and you're expecting it to go long, never try and catch a falling knife. Go with the price action, because you know what happens when you catch a falling knife, you get cut and you get hurt. That's an example of what I mean, okay? And also one thing I would say, be reactive and not predictive, okay? It's good to have an analysis and know where things are going. However, you can't be right all the time. You know, there's example videos on Zed's channel of him not being right, but he adapts. Good traders adapt to market conditions and they get in and they change and they go with the price action. Others sit around, wait until they're right, if they are right eventually, and they miss a 2-3% move that they could have played. Then they go back into the trade later on down the line and end up waiting 10, 20, 30 minutes for their trade to come off. Even longer than that sometimes, because you get most volume and most volatility right at the start, okay? And also, it's different with the FTSE Open. Just make sure you're watching how it breaks around numbers. That's really important as well, especially if you're trading stocks, because you always get a psychological reaction around numbers. How quickly it bounces off. If it does bounce off, how aggressive does it bounce off? Then if it does smash through the round number, how quickly it smashes through the round number as well, okay? So just a few notes to keep in mind. One, we're in and out of these trades, all right? We're not trying to be biased, especially with the FTSE Open. We're not trying to be biased. We don't care if it goes up or down or anything. We just want to get in and get out. That's what we want to do, okay? We want to be reactive and not predictive. So what I mean by that is, trade what you see on the screen. Doesn't matter if your analysis is wrong, you can't be right all the time. Trade what you see on the screen. And last but not least, how it breaks them round numbers when you're trading stocks. Does it bounce really far off them round numbers, trickles back down, or does it come back and then smash through the round number? That's an indication of where that stock wants to go. So yeah, I hope that helps. It's a lot easier to trade price action than it is to teach it, if that makes sense. That's why I tried to do a tutorial video there. But yeah, it's just important to be patient with price action as well. You know, for that trade this morning, I waited 4 minutes before I entered. Until you can see it and you can start to see the price moving fast, then that's when you want to enter. But yeah, I do hope that helps. Subscribe here if you're new. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so I want to try and get that as soon as possible. If you haven't checked out the last video, go and do that. That's how I traded Nike stock. But yeah, drop us a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you'd like to see next. And yeah, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much.